What's going on, everyone? This is the My Aggie Nation podcast. I'm Travis Brown with the Eagle alongside the wily veteran, Robert Cessna, sports editor here at the Eagle. We're kicking off another A&M football. What number football season is this for you for A&M?
Well, as far as obviously, I started covering the team full-time in Dennis Franchione's second year, but I've started going to A&M football games, being a covering for the Eagle, all the home games in '75. And, of course, back then I could also go to Baylor all the time in Texas. I didn't go to TCU. Always had to stay back in the office and work, but usually I was able to see about 9 games a year starting in 1975. 74, first game I saw was Clemson. I was sitting out in the stands with the fans.
Interesting.
Because first time, and pretty good experience.
So, lot has changed in those. What would you say is the biggest change in your time with the A&M football program, or anything kind of surrounding it?
Just how everything's grown. Mm-hmm. You know, the campus, the stadium. They add the park now. You think when I came down, I came here from Pennsylvania, and you think about it, the thing that really struck me first was I went out to Bryan High, and I was here. I started Eagle part-time actually in '74, and so Viking Stadium was just like it is. It seats like 12,500 or 12,700. It's a pretty nice stadium. That was bigger than my college stadium. But then you went out to A&M, and I want to say A&M at that time was like 45. It wasn't that much of a difference, really, 4 times. Now when you think about how big Kyle Field is to Brian
10 times.
They're going to say, Cessna, you're on drugs again. What are you talking about? No, there wasn't a stadium built up and about it. It's its own city now. On Saturday, we're going to a different city, and you and I and Olin and everybody and Brent, we're going to a different city to me come Saturday.
Yeah. Well, a big talk of everything with the players, and before they're going to have a new run out, new intro song. Ross Bjork said they've been working with some Aggie alumni who are in the music industry to kind of put something together. The players said they like it. Anaya Smith said he said he pitched the idea of a light show, so he's interested to see if that gets incorporated at all. We don't really know what light show means, but yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting to see what all comes through there. Those things rotate through, and everything that seems to be so core to the football team. If you went back 15, 20 years ago, they ran out differently, and because it was a different stadium, so kind of ushers in a little bit of a new era of entertainment for the fan base this year.
Well, you stop and look at it. I had a sports editor at the Champaign, Illinois, email me and wanted to say what makes Kyle Field different, because he's doing something about different stadiums in the country. And my point being is, if you're old guard, you're still going to have the band, you're still going to have the yell leaders, you're still going to have the marching in down in Houston. But I got to admit that the park that they added is very nice. Everything they've added just enhances the fans. And the bottom line is, I don't care what sport you're in, they got to pay the bills. Fans pay the bills. Yeah,
we normally walk from a kind of over by the band practice area through what was Spence Park, now Aggie Park, to get to the stadium. I got a buddy who has a tailgate over there, so we might need to alter our course to walk in to pick up a nice cold water on the way into the
It's going to be hot.
The press
nice
box.
Water is very good.
Yeah, so, it's football season. The Aggies are going to kick off against New Mexico this weekend. They have a starter named. Let's start with there. Named Connor Wigman starting quarterback. I don't think that surprises anybody, although there was a competition between the two. You did a column this week about the two. Were you expecting Connor Wigman to be the guy named, and what do you see as the quarterback situation for the Aggies heading into this season?
Yeah, I would think that anybody close to the program felt it was going to be Wegman. This is a guy that's kind of been Jimbo's guy, which you alluded to in your story, and which is true. And there's nothing wrong, because parents are sometimes accused of having favorite children. It's kind of that same situation. You can't tell me that the A&M doesn't respect Max Johnson any less than Connor Wegman, but he's just got the physical tools. He just seems to be the guy. Now, can he deliver consistently on Saturdays and stay healthy? And to me, that's why they can be glad that they have Max Johnson, because you think back last year, everybody felt that, hey, Haynes Kings is going to be healthy. He'll take that step forward. And if he stumbles, Max Johnson is waiting in the wings. And, of course, that all fell apart because King was never looked good last year, whether it was his health or didn't show up. Johnson immediately got hurt his third game after looking. So once again, you can't guess what's going to happen in this season. So the fact that they have Wegman, that I think is definitely A1, but they definitely have A2 as well. So it'll be interesting to see him. I think Wegman, he's been in with us once, I guess once, but he still strikes me as a guy, I don't think he's looking over his shoulder. I think he's a guy like, he's got all the confidence in the world.
So a lot of talk about Bobby Petrino, this new offense. He's coming in, calling plays. What are your thoughts about this offense and if it will have the ability to move or not?
Without a doubt, he's got all the weapons. They give him the keys to the car. These guys are all great. Can they produce? I mean, I think a lot of us will be surprised anytime A&M gets less than like 300, 325 yards. I'm talking about a good quality team. If you're playing Alabama, I still expect them to go out there, have at least probably 350, 375 offense. And a team like New Mexico have 500. You have the running backs. You have whatever calls you want. You have these wide receivers. Smith, getting one-on-one, Thomas getting one-on-one, Stewart. You think about, man, this team should be able to pass for 250 real easy. So, and I get it, the other team's got athletes, but if the line's as good as they say they are, and, Petrino, once he's proven, once he finds something, he's going to exploit that. He goes back to it again and again, and that's what makes him a good play caller. So I'll be interested to see how he does.
Yeah, the spread is 38.5 in favor of the Aggies. The over-under is 49. So that's either saying that the offense isn't going to do a whole lot more than that 38 points, or the defense is going to give up a few points to the Lobos in one of those games that you think could probably be a shutout situation. They could put some points on the board. I'll be interested to see how that over-under holds up as well. So let's finish it off with this. I know for our A&M special section, we had a media poll, and we asked everybody what they thought the record was going to be. What are you thinking? How many wins this year, and what situation does that put Jimbo and the program moving forward?
I'm picking 9-4, and my reasoning being is can't see them going to Tennessee or LSU win. I just think it's so hard to win in this league, which Phil proved, but you got to take care of business in other games. So that's 2 losses, and you got Alabama here. You got to go to Ole Miss. I just think it's going to be hard to get better than 9-4, and if they get to that 10 wins, then they're on their way. I think 9-4, just about any way you cut it, it is an improvement. They were 5-7. You're in the SEC. It's hard to go from being A&M at 5-7 to say, oh man, we're going to be right with Alabama, we're going to be right with LSU and right with Georgia. LSU made that jump in 1 year, but they were already there. They were just not that long ago. They were 16-0. A&M wasn't 16-0 that long ago. So to me, 9-4. If they go 9-4, great season. Yeah,
without having seen this offensive line yet, I can't give them any more than 8 wins is what I put on there, because I agree. I don't think you're going to Tennessee to win. I don't think you're going to LSU to win. I don't think you're beating Alabama. And I'm curious to see, with a new offensive coordinator, can they get it all put together in time to go to Miami and win? I don't think Miami is going to be that great of a team, but again, it's an early road test across the country. So curious to see how that all shakes up. I have them at 8 wins right now. But
that's 8-4 going into the bowl game.
Yes, 8-4. Yeah, going into the bowl game, and so I don't know if I see much more there, but it could change if the offensive line just comes out guns a-blazing. I've just had my questions because of the fact they didn't really add anything with the transfer portal, and they had 3 of 5 starters out in spring practice. How do you take those next step forwards? But I could be proven wrong.
I love this schedule. In number 1. I want them to take care of business the first 2 games. I want them to take care of business in New Mexico. They take care of business against New Mexico. big game Miami on the road. A&M hasn't done good on the road when they're down. We know Miami didn't have a good year, so they're circled this game. Those fans, those players, they've got D1 talent. They've got top 25 talent. So what does A&M do that game? What a great test, because maybe if they just win that game, it's great. Maybe if they win it ugly, we don't know. But I love these first 2 games.
Yeah, and I love this schedule because we don't have like 6 weeks straight on the road like we did last year.
Oh, my gosh. that stretch there, and actually they get an open date in October, so I love the schedule. I love, God willing, we'll be going back to Tennessee when it's full house. COVID didn't do that stadium right. I want to go there when it is. Knowing you end up at LSU, knowing Alabama comes here, knowing you'll go back to Lane Kiffin land. Great schedule.
There you go. Well, I think we've talked about as much as we can talk about a opening season game against New Mexico. That kicks off Saturday at 6 o'clock? 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
so be sure to drink water, hydrate. Yeah, stay out of the sun for as long as you can. That'll be key.
As soon as that game's over, go to theeagle.com, and Travis will have his stuff up there ready for you.
It's like you're doing my job for me. That's great. Yeah, go to theeagle.com. We'll be talking up that game after it happens, what we saw, what we liked, what we didn't like, and writing up those stories. So check that e-edition the next day and theeagle.com.